After raising them like my own for 15 years, they took the mic at graduation and said, "We thank our real dad, not the guy who just paid the bills." I smiled. The next day, their college fund, built over 5 years, was gone, and who I gave it to left their mom pleading in public. Chapter 1. The graduation shock. For 15 years, I was dad, not stepdad, not mom's husband, just dad. I taught them to swim, packed their lunches, and sat front row at every school play, even when they flubbed their lines or just waved awkwardly at the crowd. I stayed up through asthma attacks and nightmares, helped with algebra homework and heartbreak, and yeah, I covered every expense: braces, dance lessons, soccer gear, family trips. Their biological father, he disappeared before their youngest was 3, sending only a handful of messy birthday cards with a name they barely knew. I never turned it into a contest. I didn't need the glory. I just wanted to be their dad. Until that graduation day. The auditorium was buzzing, families cheering, caps soaring. The principal passed the mic to the twins, Mia and Ryan, my kids, valedictorian and co-salutatorian. I stood, camera ready, grinning ear to ear. Then Mia stepped up. "Before we wrap up, we want to thank the most important people in our lives," she said, her smile radiant. "Our real dad for always being there in spirit, rooting for us from afar." Ryan added, "And Mom, you're our foundation, our everything. We love you beyond words. Oh, and thanks to the guy who paid the bills, I guess." Laughter rippled, mostly from her side of the family. My ex-wife, their mother, didn't glance my way, too busy wiping fake tears and nodding like she'd single-handedly shaped their success. I didn't stand. I didn't smile. I sat frozen as something inside me broke, then solidified. That night I poured a whiskey, logged into the family savings account, and stared at the college fund I'd built for 5 years, $120,000. They saw me as just a wallet? Fine, let's see how they manage without it. Chapter 2. The funds and the fallout. Sleep didn't come that night, not from sorrow but from clarity. By dawn I had a plan. First, I emptied the college fund. Every penny. I shut down the 529 plan and funneled the money into a private trust I'd set up 6 months earlier, when I first noticed the shift. The way the kids talked to me, the way my ex-wife stopped standing up for me, the whispers about our real dad visiting more often. Then I sent 2 emails. One to the university's bursar, canceling the tuition payments I'd pledged, and another to my niece, Abby, my late sister's daughter. She was a brilliant kid, juggling 2 jobs and community college while raising her younger siblings after her mom's death. She always appreciated the smallest gestures, never asking for more. I called her that afternoon. "Abby," I said, "check your email, then start researching 4-year colleges, your tuition's covered." All of it. Her sobs were so intense I couldn't make out her words. That gratitude reminded me what it felt like to be valued. The next day, the storm hit. Mia called first, then Ryan, then their mother. "Dad, why won't the college take the payment? Why's the account empty?" I replied calmly. "I figured it's time for your real dad to step up. He got the credit, right?" Silence. Then came the yelling, the guilt trips, the accusations. My ex-wife showed up at my door, tears streaming. "You can't do this to your kids." I cracked the door and said softly, "They made it clear I'm not their dad, so I'm honoring their choice." Then I closed the door. She pounded for a bit before peeling out in her leased BMW, which, by the way, I stopped paying for that week. Chapter 3. Backlash and betrayal. The morning after I redirected their college funds, I braced for chaos. But I didn't expect it to go viral. My ex-wife decided to post online about my cruelty, casting herself and the kids as victims of a vindictive stepdad who pulled the plug at the last second. The internet, though, has a knack for uncovering truth. The bombshell came in the comments. Her Facebook post spread among friends, family, and the local community. Then Abby, my niece, dropped a comment that flipped the script. "I'm so sorry this happened, but I want to thank you, Uncle Nate, for your kindness. Because of you, I'm attending my dream school. You're my hero." That comment blew up. Old friends, coworkers, even some of my ex's relatives started piecing it together. People who'd stayed quiet spoke up. "Didn't your kids call him a loser at graduation? I thought he raised them like his own." Funny how memory gets fuzzy when money's on the line. My inbox filled with screenshots. Her lie unraveled spectacularly. As for the real dad they praised on stage, he bilayed. When tuition was due, dorm supplies needed buying, and loans needed co-signers, he vanished. No calls, no texts, just silence. Turns out his public praise was just a stunt for clout with no intention of stepping up. My ex's meltdown was public and pathetic. A friend from her salon called me. "She came in crying," she said. "Blamed everyone but herself. Even said, 'Why didn't he warn me?' But that was the point. She'd made every major decision in our marriage without my input, let the kids treat me like an outsider, so I gave her silence in return. Chapter 4. Redemption and reality. The week after the graduation disaster was a whirlwind of blame, silence, and consequences. Then the principal called. "I know it's a big ask," she said, "but we'd like to honor you at our annual Community Heroes Assembly. Your story could teach our students about integrity, commitment, and selfless care." I declined at first. I wasn't after applause or sympathy. But then she said, "We also want to offer a scholarship in your name to someone you choose." That stopped me. A chance to lift someone who deserved it. I thought about it all day. There were many I could have picked, but one stood out. Maya, the daughter of my old company's janitor. A straight-A student, accepted to 5 top colleges, but ready to abandon her dreams because her dad couldn't afford tuition. When she learned, she cried, so did her father. "You did this?" he asked, voice breaking. "Why?" I said, "Because you raised her right. That's what matters, not blood." That same day, my ex-wife stormed into Maya's school, screaming, "How dare you steal our kids' future? You owe them," but her act was wearing thin. The PTA president, once her closest friend, shut her down. "Your kids made their choice on that stage. You don't get to beg now that the consequences hit." Someone recorded the confrontation, and it spread online like wildfire. The internet, once sympathetic to her, now labeled her entitled, ungrateful, delusional. Later that week, I sent the twins a letter. No anger, no lectures, just a photo of me and Maya at her new dorm and a note. "Some things are earned, not owed. I gave my heart, not just my money. That's worth something to the right person." Epilogue. The weight of a man, the chaos of that graduation day faded, but its echoes lingered. My house was quiet now. No running footsteps, no slamming doors, just calm silence and a life reclaimed. 6 months later, a handwritten letter arrived from Ethan, the quieter twin, who never met my eyes after that speech. "I don't know if this matters," he wrote, "but I've been thinking. Mom said you were just the provider. But you were there. Every game, every sick night, every heartbreak I didn't want to talk about, but you saw I was wrong. We were ungrateful. I wish I could undo it." No plea for money or forgiveness, just acknowledgement. That meant more than anything. A year later, I stood in the crowd as Maya crossed her college stage, valedictorian. She spotted me and waved. The announcer said, "Special thanks to our community sponsor, Alex Monroe, for supporting students who believe in themselves." The applause roared, but I stayed seated. I didn't need the spotlight. Somewhere in that cheering crowd, I knew I'd made the right call. Being a parent isn't about DNA. It's about showing up, loving without keeping score. Sometimes it's about walking away from those who don't value you to give to those who do. They called me a loser that day, but the real victory was choosing peace over pride, purpose over pain, and integrity over ego. That's a story I'll never regret living. Drop your thoughts below. I read them all. Hit like if you're all about justice and share this with someone who needs its spark. Subscribe to Lauren's Stories because here betrayals don't rest. They hunt. Every shadow holds a reckoning, every mask cracks, and every betrayal meets its answer. Stay sharp, stay unbroken, stay tuned.